Hey guys, Joe Warner coming in. This is the rules for the 12-12 Land Battle Tournament that is being hosted by Nappy on the PA Events Discord. These are the rules for all of the battles for this tournament. So now you guys can see what's going on, and hopefully you can read all of these. I will try and give you as much time. Feel free to pause and take a look and see what all the rules are so you are up to date as to what's going on in this tournament. Hope you guys enjoy. Hey guys, Joe Warner coming in. We're going to continue on here with the Medieval Kingdoms 12-12 land battle that is going on in the PA Events Discord, being hosted by Nappy. On the battlefield today we have two armies of England for the British Isles team, and on the other side we have two armies for the Low Countries. We have the County of Flanders and the Duchy of Brabant. So let's get into the army comps real fast. We'll go over some of the armies. We have the County of Flanders here being commanded by Guido Pali. He is bringing with him 4 units of the Flemish Spear Militia here up on his front line. Right behind them he is bringing with him 4 units of the dismounted Flemish men-at-arms. Off on his flank here he's bringing a unit of the dismounted Count's Retinue. Right there, heavy shock infantry. He's also bringing with him 2 units of the Flemish Goendags, I guess. 2 units of those. Back here he's got some of his cavalry. He's got 2 units of the mounted Flemish sergeants. 2 units of the Flemish sergeants. One of them here, I believe the other one is on the opposite side, way over there. And then the other 2 units of cavalry he has are 2 units of the Flemish men-at-arms. Getting over here into his general, we have the Flemish Count Bodyguard, which I don't see anybody with a sword, so I don't exactly know which one the Count is. Maybe this guy with the plume could be him. I don't see anybody else with a plume really. So okay, that will pretty much round out the County of Flanders army. Getting over here now to the Duchy of Brabant. Brabant is being commanded by Geke. He is bringing with him 4 units of the Urban Spear Militia on his front line infantry line. And he is also bringing with him 3 units of the Pavis Crossbowmen. Very, very solid crossbow units. Very, very good solid. It's very, very solid crossbow units. He's also bringing 2 units of the Geldon Long Spear Militia, which is basically pikes. Getting into his cavalry here, we have 2 units of the Gendarmes. And behind them, he's got 3 units of the Mounted Sergeants. He's got a unit of the dismounted Brabant Knights here, heavy shock infantry. Getting over onto the other side here, we have his general, which is the Foot Duke's Bodyguard, which is this guy right here with the red hat on. Pretty cool looking axe. I like this unit very, very much. I like that unit a lot. He's got some of his levy infantry here. I believe he's got 2 units of those. Yeah, 2 units of the levy infantry. That will pretty much round out that army. Getting on to the 1st England army here, we have... sorry about that. The game crashed. Got back up to where we were here. So we're going to start off with this English army first. This is Jake Two Punch O. He is bringing with him 4 units of the Flemish Spear... mercenary... he's got 1 unit of the mercenary Spear... militia here. I'm sorry. Nope, I'm reading that incorrectly. I do apologize there. He's got 4 units of the mercenary Welsh Spearmen. He's also bringing with him 5 units of the English Foot Knights, melee infantry. He is bringing with him 3 units of the Retinue Longbowmen, which England was definitely known for their longbows. He's also bringing a unit of the Yeomen of the Guard bows. So I'm pretty interested to see how well they do. Getting into some more of his militia spearmen on this side, English Foot Knights there. Getting into his cavalry forces, he's actually bringing 4 units of the Hobelards. That is all of the cavalry he's bringing. 2 units here, 2 units here, and his general is the King's Bodyguard. So there is the king right there with his pretty little crown on, and his ally over here is another English army being commanded by 2nd YouTube General. He is bringing with him 4 units of the normal Spearmen High period on his front line. He's also got a unit of the mercenary Welsh Spearmen. Right behind them, he's got 1 unit of his two 2 units of his retinue longbowmen, 2 units of regular bowmen, or longbowmen, I should say. He is also bringing with him 5 units of his foot knights. Sorry, 3 units of his foot knights. I have it all written down here. I'm trying to read it as best as I can. He is also bringing with him a unit of the Yeomen of the Guard halberdiers, or polearm infantry. His general, again, is the King's bodyguard, right there. Again, King with the crown on him. And his cavalry forces are 2 units of the Hobilars, and he's actually bringing 2 units of the Hensinic Lancers. So this is what they look like. Pretty long field battle, almost 26 minutes long, so we're just going to kick this one off here. Might actually have to do a little bit of fast forwarding, because I'm pretty sure there's probably just going to be a ton of ranged back and forth. We do still see some more of the units moving around. Golden long spearmen starting to move onto that the other opposite side of his formation. So yeah, we do have the ranged combat going on here. 3 units of retinue longbowmen, the Yeomen of the Guard bowmen now moving in as well, taking on 3 units of the Pavis crossbowmen. Cavalry starting to come out across the field here for the Duchy of Brabant. I'm sorry, County of Flanders. Their flags are so similar aside of the background. Their flag is very, very similar. Not really very much movement on the other side there. Starting to see some of the archers move up a little bit. I will slow it down into regular play once we get into actual combat. But I would like to show as much of the battle as possible. The range game definitely does play a part in any sort of field battle. More fire coming in. Actually, one of these crossbow units here has lost 1 man so far. They've taken several volleys and they've only lost 1 man. As you can see, with the Pavis, they have their shield, so they're not taking any damage. They're really not getting hit at all by anything. No cavalry really moving around just yet. We did have a unit of cavalry here. Mounted sergeants starting to switch sides onto the opposite side of the Duchy of Brabant's formation. No advancement so far from the County of Flanders, which actually I'm noticing that they don't have any archers with him, so I'm going to assume this is probably just going to be a rush army. Just have his 4 units of cavalry, so we'll have to see how this plays out. Man count is 4768 to 5058. So England has lost 2 men so far. The lowlands or low countries have lost 2 also. Longbowmen moving up a little bit further. Looks like they're going to start firing. Yeah, they're going to start firing into these Flemish golden dags. Goendendags. Pretty sure that's how you say it. Okay, so we've gotten some cavalry starting to move forward here. Maybe it's just this side flanking force that's going to move a little bit closer, just the same as it is for England. England is pulling their archers back just a bit. Cavalry is now retreating a little bit as well. Front line's getting a bit closer. Land battles can be very technical. There's a lot of tactics in field battles. I mean, there's a lot of tactics in sieges as well. But field battles, once a unit of cavalry or a couple of units of cavalry get behind you, especially if they're shot cavalry, heavy shot cavalry, you're going to be in a world of hurt. So I completely understand plus this being a tournament, they're definitely going to be as wise with their moves as possible. So I definitely understand some of these battles taking a little bit of time to start, really getting involved other than the range fire back and forth. Our English longbows, they've used a lot of ammunition already for not a whole lot of kills. This unit has only lost 2, 0, 0. Have they hit any of these back lines? Spear and pikes? No. Wow. So the English longbows have a tremendous range. Yeah, their range is 150, but their damage, 40 missile damage, but I guess with the armor, Let's see what the armor is. 55. Yeah, it's going to take a little bit for them to break through that armor level. Wow. Unit of the Hobilars here starting to move up for England. Let's see if any of the cavalry is going to take a chance to try and get some of these archer units off the field. Looks like they're coming out, but the crossbows are going to pull back behind the safety of their spear line again. Mounted sergeants started coming out, they're going to pull back again as well. I mean, if you guys have noticed in the other 12-12 field battles that I've posted so far from this tournament, sometimes it takes a little bit for the battle to go, but once they start going at each other, it's pretty much a bloodfest. Everything pretty much just explodes. Ooh, actually, what is this? Unit of the Flemish men-at-arms now have moved into their diamond or triangle formation. That could be pretty deadly over here because that is a heavy shock cavalry. There's only medium and light melee on this side. Ooh, buddy. Looks like the heavy shock are going to start making their way in. Starting to make a slow advance. Medium melee cavalry as well. Second unit of the Flemish men-at-arms making their advancement slowly also. And there's no spears on this side. And their nearest infantry unit is way over there, English foot knights. So it does look like this unit of cavalry is going to come in for a charge, and they're going to split right through that unit. Do have the Hanseatic Lancers going to wrap around them, so maybe they're going to start. No, actually, Hanseatic Lancers are getting murdered. Already down 19 men. Wow. Second unit here, mounted Flemish sergeants have gotten a charge in. Oh no. Huge charge in onto this unit of English foot knights there. Crushed right through the line. Look at those numbers just dropping. Oh, good God. So right off the bat here, England does not seem that they are holding on very long. Now we have the Flemish Goendags moving up as well. Probably going to come in and give the infantry, the cavalry, I should say, a hand. But actually, the Flemish sergeants here are actually wavering pretty quickly. Hopefully these polearms are going to be able to get in here and help them out with these two units of cavalry. Shock cavalry is now pulling back out of that unit of English foot knights there, down to 124 men. And there they go. Actually, yeah, the Flemish sergeants actually are wavering. They're routing off the field. This shock cavalry unit is doing a fantastic job, though, against these lancers. Lancers are already down 30 men. Cavalry for England starting to pull away from the polearms. Makes sense. Definitely makes sense. Archers are not firing, and actually they're facing in the wrong direction. Not a good sign there for England again. Usually you want your men to be facing the enemy, not having their back to them. Check on the other side. Still nothing really, just a bunch. Oh, wait a second. We do have a unit here starting to come out. Unit of the medium melee cavalry. Looks like they're going to try and get a charge in. No, they're going to pull up. Okay, let's get back on to the other side here where the game is actually going on so far. Hobilar's going to charge in again, try and getting rid of this unit of the Flemish sergeants there. We have a unit here of the Hanseatic Lancers have now broken, so the shock cavalry here have been victorious. Another unit of the Hanseatic Lancers moving over. Unit of the retinue longbowmen are going to have to try and run now because they have nothing out in front of them to protect them. They're going to have to try and get back behind their lines. Actually, ooh, we got some oh, wait a second. Infantry is now closing in on each other. Not getting into combat, though. Units starting to move into their spear walls and shield walls. So that should be close to combat. Actually, on this side, we do finally have contact over here. Mounted sergeants and a unit of the levy infantry taking on some Hobilars and a unit of the mercenary Welsh spearmen on this side. So combat has now taken off. Infantry now clashing in this center. At least one of the units, dismounted counts, retinue has charged in onto some of the spearmen. Moving on down the line, still not a whole lot. Actually, some more clashing over there. Dismounted counts going in against some spearmen as well. See how the cavalry forces are going on this side. Not looking too good again for England. Do have the heavy shock cavalry starting to make their way around again. Other unit here is already entangled in combat. Got into one of the units of the retinue longbows. Not very good. King's bodyguards standing watching over. The polearms are starting to move in as well. Going to start trying to hack into some of these Hobilars. and the Hasidic Lancers. Not a good sign. The men-at-arms could make their way around, maybe get a rear charge in, but they would probably leave themselves open for a rear charge there from the King's bodyguard. Start moving on down to the other side. I did see some units starting to waver. Yes, Flemish men-at-arms here starting to waver in the center here for the County of Flanders, starting to correct themselves though. This unit should be able to come back. Yeah, 62 men out of 160. They should be able to come back. See how the rest of the fighting on this side is going. These 4 units are still in combat. These 4 units are still in combat. Bunch of archer fire still coming across the field here. These retinue longbowmen are really running out of ammunition, and they have not gotten pretty much any kills on these Pavis crossbowmen. This unit's still only with the 2 losses from way back in the beginning. Oh no. Unit of the Yeomen of the Guard kind of out in the open here. We do have general combat going on. The King's bodyguard going against the Flemish Count's bodyguard in the back here as well. Unit here of the Hobbelars have now broken. Looks like actually the Yeomen are just going to charge into melee. Maybe they're going to try and come in here and get rid of the Flemish general. I don't know. I mean, they weren't really doing a whole lot of damage anyway. Let's see what we have going on over here. So this heavy shot cavalry is routing another unit of the English Foot Knights, also involved in combat with the King's bodyguard. We do have 2 units of the Hasidic Lancers and Hobbelars charging back over to try and help out. We do have a general who has just fallen here in the center. I would guess that is the King's bodyguard here. Says the casualties sustained. Not seeing anything about a general being dead. Oh wait, general alive for this English army. So what general died? Hold on a second. Let's see what general died. This unit's still at 160. 17. Doesn't say anything about their general being dead. So Flanders' general has now died on the battlefield already. Let's get back over here. Do hear a lot of archer fire coming in. Seems that Flanders is pretty much wiping up this side. Actually, these retinue longbowmen are doing a pretty good job fending off against these 2 units of polearms. We do have a unit of spearmen that have come back from routing. English King on this side is starting to pull away from combat. 2 units of the shot cavalry are wavering. Actually, no, was wavering. One of them has corrected themselves. This other unit is not looking too good. Wavering, casualties sustained, very tired.
Our men flee the field of battle. This is a shameful display.
See cavalry charging across. Where are they going to try and go? Maybe come around and get a rear charge in onto these shock infantry. That's exactly what it looks like they're going to do. Coming in, crashing into this unit of the heavy shock dismounted Count's retinue, starting to waver that unit. It's a good unit to get rid of, but here comes a unit of the mounted sergeants going to come in and try and aid the Count's retinue there by charging into the back of this unit of Hobbelars. Do have another unit of the men-at-arms here charging in for Flanders into the spear infantry there. Ooh, no. Oh, no. That does not look good for England at all. 2 units of shock cavalry over here have been victorious, and they're going to start running all over the place. Crashing into this unit of spearmen who were moving. This other unit crashing into this unit of spearmen who were moving, so unfortunately they are not in any sort of a defensive position. And now here comes the Geldens. Oh, God. Oh, the Godendags. This is not looking good. Now we have an enemy general who is dead. So now one of the English kings is dead. One of the English generals is dead. The second one still remains on the battlefield here. 36 out of 50.
The men are broken and are fleeing.
Who's coming back? Oh, we have some. Okay, so the cavalry is coming back here for England. Medium melee cavalry going to come back in. These polearms going to start getting some stabs in onto them. Oh, actually, this second unit of polearms going to get a rear charge done onto them. but not a lot of the cavalry unit got in onto that charge. Oh, there they go. Cavalry has broken. Do have a unit of retinue longbowmen, though, who have come back. Oh, wow. Flemish Goendags just shattered. 84 men left remaining in that unit and just gone. That unit of cavalry break as well. They did. Heavy shot cavalry has shattered, but they still do have one other unit here with 45 out of 80 in that unit. And it looks like Flanders has absolutely been victorious on this side of the battlefield thus far. Not a lot of this initial English army remaining. Ooh, we have General up in melee combat here. Actually, he's caught out a unit of archers. Foot Duke's Guard here for Brabant, getting into a unit of the Yeomen of the Guard. Let's take a look and see what the Yeomen's stats are. Melee attack 37, melee damage 45, defense 52, armor 65. Wow, that is a hell of an archer unit. But they are fighting against a heavy shotgun unit, so I don't think that, yeah. Even with such good stats, I don't think the Yeomen are going to last that long. But they do have some reinforcements moving in. There is a unit of the Yeomen of the Guard shock infantry, heavy polearm infantry coming in to back up the archers. So that could be a good thing, but oh god. We have a unit of the retinue longbowmen seem to be in the sights of this heavy shock men-at-arms cavalry unit, and they're going to murder them. Here it comes. Oh god. I love cavalry charges. Pretty sure everybody who plays Total War games loves watching cavalry charges, especially absolutely destructive ones. Let's get back over onto this side. Actually, a lot of units from this English army are still around. Don't look like they've been in combat just yet. Yeah, he's got 2 units of his spears, 2 units of swords, and a unit of the 3 units of swords and a unit of the heavy polearm infantry. Billmen have not been involved in combat, and he has a full unit of Hobilars back here. But Brabant's got 3 units of cavalry on this side. Still has some of his spear units. This one looks like he's starting to take some damage from the archer fire. Another unit here of his pikes, 2 other units of spears who haven't been touched, and another unit of pikes there. And he does still have all 3 of his units of crossbows. And it does seem that Flanders is starting to wrap up even more so of this English army on this side. Yeah, looks like they only have this 1 unit of foot soldiers left, foot knights there. So these 3 units are pretty much free to come on over here. How's the English bodyguard king doing? King is currently still alive. There he is right there. Running back, he's going to get behind his archer lines for some sort of safety. So this rush army for Flanders actually did a fantastic job. No archers, and he just ran this English army over. From what it seems like. We'll have to check the stats, at the end there, see what the kills were, but he looks like he just ran them over. You can definitely tell a battle took place on this side of the battlefield. There is a lot of dead. You do have the Foot Duke's general making his way back in. No, he's going to turn and charge. Where's he going? I don't think he knows where he wants to go, because he's got 3 units coming in on him. The general unit only has 29 men left in it. Yeomen of the Guard have now they're wavering, they're routing. 4 minutes 37 seconds left in the battle. This looks like all that's left for England. For the 2 teams of England, they just have these units here. They are pretty outnumbered, down almost 500 men completely. English foot knights, are they even still moving? They are, but they're exhausted, so it's going to take them forever. Here comes a general unit starting to waver. Or he's continuing to waver here.
Enemy units have rallied and returned to the battle.
So yeah, now England is pretty much being surrounded. Actually, over on this side, we do have the cavalry starting to move forward here for Brabant, crushing into some of these mercenary Welsh spearmen. Wow. Down to 120 in that unit. And look at that number just dropping. 160 down to 100 in not very long. And this unit is now starting to wave. Bang. Gone. Shattered completely with a unit of the gendarmes here now chasing down. Oh, Hobilars have already broken. They just shattered completely. How many are in that unit? 68 just shattered. Do they have any kills? None. Wow. That's crazy. These two units here, oh God, these two units of spears just completely shattered as well. Not looking good here for England. He is pretty much surrounded. Oh wait, we have a general down. How did that general die? Who was he fighting? Oh, this was the English general. Really? It was one of the English generals. I wonder why he was all the way over here. Well, that is a shame. That is definitely a shame. Now we're going to have some infantry closing in here. Some urban spear militia closing up from Brabant. Pike starting to move up as well. General is getting picked away with some of the archers. He's now routing. Actually came back a little bit, but he's down to 12 men left. He can't survive very much longer. Oh no, cavalry has made it around the corner here. Oh, this is more. This is over. This is definitely over. This cavalry's just gonna, oh, here they come. Gonna work their way around and probably crush into the back of this line. Yep. That's exactly what they're going to do. The majority of the line gonna come in and get a huge charge into the back. And here comes the infantry from the front as well. King actually charged his way in there, now down to 4 men. That unit is dead. That unit is going to be gone. English foot knights trying to move as fast as they can to get over here to try and help their ally or their own army, but they're exhausted. They're not going to make it. They are definitely not going to make it. There goes the English king. He has now routed. Is he dead? Does not say he is dead. Let's see. Can we see? Is this him? No, that is not him. So it does look like maybe the English king has died. And here comes Flanders. They're just going to come in behind and mop up the rest of this English army. So I'm just going to fast forward the rest of this. Probably just get in on some more of the charges, actually. Another huge charge coming in from some of these gendarmes in onto the back of this unit of English foot knights. And you can see all of the red flags starting to waver now. 49 seconds left in the battle replay. And they're going to probably keep flashing and then coming back and flashing and coming back. But this is all but over. This is all but over except for time here. 1830 against 270. Yeah. Wow. I was actually surprised when I saw that that one army over there, that the County of Flanders didn't have any archers. I was kind of wondering what he was going to be able to do, but he definitely pulled it out. Let's get into some of the army breakdowns here. We'll again with Guido Pali here with County of Flanders. Look at his shock. 350, 213. Solid kills there. Spear's doing okay. One here with 122, one with 98. His Golden Eggs with 62 and 68. Sword's not really doing good. One unit here with 157, one with 94. So I guess that's a 50-50. His 2 units of Sergeant's not very good. His men-at-arms, though, 262, 401 kills. Fantastic kills there. Getting into Geke here with the Duchy of Brabant. His general, 146. His 1 unit of Brabantian Knights, I should say, 129. Moving down further, he's got a unit of his levy infantry here, 102. His crossbow's doing very well, 160, 84, 156. His cavalry okay, 1 unit here of the mounted sergeants with 124. His 2 units of his gendarmes, though, 261, 370. Fantastic usage of the cavalry between these two guys right here. Well done. Getting into second YouTube general here with the First Kingdom of England army. His general, unfortunately, only 26 kills before he was removed from the battlefield. Yeoman of the Guard here, 186. His archers doing actually pretty okay. 169, 141, 107, and 79. Unfortunately, his cavalry really did not have a chance to get off the go there. Then we get to Jake .20, I think his name was. He has 1 unit of the Spearmen here with 111 kills. Some of his English foot knights doing okay. 87 there, 158 there. Wow, actually, one of his retinue longbowmen here, 233 kills. His yeoman of the guard longbow, 122. And his cavalry, again, unfortunately, were just completely outmatched by what Brabant and Flanders brought with them. So guys, this is battle number 1 between these two factions, between these two teams, I should say. Get ready for the second one. It will be coming up here in just a moment. Alright guys, coming in with second battle here for the British Isles versus the Low Countries here. Looks like the Low Countries are actually going... I'm sorry, England is going to play a little bit more defensive here. Definitely have a very long line mixed between their two units, their two armies of at least their spear and some of their sword infantry here. Let's see how much there were some changes here to some of the armies, like Jake to Punch here. Instead of having the 4 units of mercenary Welsh spears, he's actually only got the 2 here now, but he has added in 2 units of the heavy billmen. I believe those were the only changes he made to his army. Oh, he changed his general also to a unit of the foot bodyguard. Getting over here to 2nd YouTube General. He has actually dropped one of his spearmen down to 3. He's got an extra unit of the Welsh spearmen, and that is the change that he made to his army. Getting on to the other side here for Flanders and Brabant. The changes, Flanders I don't believe changed anything in his army. Getting over to Brabant here though. Brabant did make some changes. He actually dropped one of his units of his crossbows. He has now picked up 2 extra units of his levy infantry. So he's down to 2 crossbows up to 4 units of levy infantry. So let's get this one going. We're just going to toss a little fast forward onto it again. See what we have going on here. I heard a rumor that 1212 eventually will be able to just start, like you'll be able to move your units around and then hit start battle instead of having to do this at the beginning of all battles. Hopefully that will be able to come soon. I heard a rumor about it. We'll see if it actually comes true, but that would definitely be pretty awesome if they were able to figure out how to do that. So okay, let's see. Actually, a big push coming on this side. Wow, England is moving, this England army at least is moving his heavy billmen, all 4 units of his cavalry and 1 unit of his bowmen onto this side. 2 other units of the retinue longbowmen starting to file in behind along with the general. This is definitely a way different approach here from England. This is quite a force on this side. Let's speed it up just a little bit, see what happens here. Cavalry's going to pull away. Billmen now left up here by themselves, which, unless they have like a shield wall or something, which I don't think they do. Yeah, they don't have any shields. Those crossbows could have possibly started doing some serious damage to those billmen. Nothing really moving yet. Oh no, we have the spear line starting to move up here for Flanders. 4 units of his spear militia making their way up. One of his units of the dismounted count's retinue making their way up. Oh, it looks like he's just going to rush again. He is just going to plow his way across the field here. Cavalry starting to flank. Get ready to start flanking around. A lot of archer fire coming in here, though, from these retinue longbowmen, though. There are only 2 of them now. I'm sorry. 3 is right there. So they will start getting some shots off as well. Infantry now starting to move forward. The English foot knights are going to start making their way up. These pole arms and the swords here should clash very soon. This looks like it's about getting ready to crash into each other as well. Nope, they're going to pop. They're just going to wait. Anything going on over here? Nope. Just looks like all of their lines are moving forward just to get in range of each other so they can just hit charge immediately. Oh no, we do have some... Okay, so combat has now taken off here. Dismounted Count's retinue getting into some of the spearmen. Cavalry start. Oh no. 2 units of the shock cavalry. One of them getting into their diamond formation. 2nd unit appears to be doing just the same, and they're going to crash into these. Oh, God. Yeah, I don't know how well these lancers and the hobblars are going to do against this shock cavalry. I believe the 2nd unit of shock cavalry is making their way in. Here comes the mounted sergeants coming in against the Hansinic lancers there as well. Just massive 4 units of cavalry over here fighting each other out. 2 units of cavalry here. Actually, one of the units of Godendag's getting involved in the combat as well to help the cavalry out here for Flanders. Moving on down the line, we do have some of the infantry clashing together. Some more of the dismounted men-at-arms making their way up, forming their lines. Archers are still firing back and forth. Some of the spear militia here actually down to 136. Let's see what we got going on the other side. Actually, I see a way back over here unit of the mounted sergeants here for Brabant has gotten in, getting some pretty good kills onto this unit of retinue longbowmen, now down to 119 men. Cavalry's just going to pull back away. They are quickly being chased by a unit of Hobilars. General was involved in that combat. He does not seem to have lost anybody. A lot of flame arrows coming though from these retinue longbowmen. Let's see how bad this unit is hurt. Down to 56. How many kills did they get? 41. Kind of even. Kind of even on that exchange. Oh, one of the units here. What is this? Men-at-arms have gotten into some of the longbowmen here. We did unfortunately have to have a unit of Hobilars come in and try and save these archers. And here comes some mounted sergeants. They're going to hit this gap and come right through. Oh, this is going to be a bad day for England yet again. General going to come over and maybe try and help. He does seem like he's trying to make his way over here, but these archers are going to get hammered. Not a very tough unit. It's only medium melee cavalry, but they still should be able to get some kills. And look at this line already shattered on this side for England. They are definitely losing the cavalry battle on this side. Not looking good for England again on this end of the battle line. His archers are getting into melee combat again with some heavy shock infantry. That is not going to work out well. Now cavalry making their way around. Unit of the medium melee cavalry making their way around here for Flanders. Hopefully maybe they're going to get into a big charge onto the back of this unit as they're running. Yep. Oh my god. Look at how far these guys got tossed. It is so nasty. I love it. So nasty. Oh yeah, the second unit here of the Hasidic Lancers have now shattered. Or broken, I should say. They are coming back though, but men-at-arms look like they're going to go over there and just finish them off. Not looking very good on this side of the battlefield. Let's see how England is faring over here against Brabant. He looks like he's handling it okay for the moment. His general is involved in combat. He does actually have a unit of his billmen that are now shattering, or very close to shattering here. More of his bowmen are starting to make their way up. This unit of the gendarmes actually just sitting here getting hammered. So they might want to stay. There you go. They're going to come out and get into this unit of the Hobilars. Probably quickly get rid of this unit. It's only light melee cavalry. Yeah, lost 18 men on that charge. Archer fire coming in from the yeomen of the guard, though. We do have a unit of Hobilars now coming around. Not sure how well this is going to work out, though. Medium melee going in against light melee cavalry again. Wow. Cavalry is a big factor in 1212. Look at this English army over here. He is pretty much gone again. Units here being surrounded. Cavalry running pretty much free, having a free run in this back lines. The 2 units of shock cavalry right next to each other. Unit of the English foot knights have now shattered. This unit of bowmen are gone. This unit of bowmen is definitely gone. They're facing the wrong direction and they're about to get charged. Not as impressive of a charge, but you're definitely seeing that their numbers are dropping. And let's see what the heavy shock cavalry is going to do. What do they have left over here to defend against this heavy shock cavalry? Heavy spears. Okay, so they do have a couple of 4 units of heavy spears at least. 1 unit of the retinue longbowmen. They still do have their general 50 of 50. This is the other English army's defense. Another unit here. Hobilars starting to waver. Archers in the mix against some spearmen and regular swords. Not looking good. Not looking good at all here for England. Unfortunate to say, England's a pretty solid faction from what I've seen them in being involved in other battles. Not in this tournament, obviously, but in other battles that I've seen, multiplayer battles. England's usually a pretty big powerhouse. Actually, it looks like he's starting to win. He's winning the cavalry engagement so far on this side. So that's a sign of hope. Now, if he can just get this unit of Hobilars around into the back, and start getting into these crossbows, that might actually start helping him out. Hopefully this unit here of the Yeoman of the Guard will be able to get in here before this unit of Hobilars breaks. I don't know how helpful it is that he's firing flame arrows into this blob where his own cavalry is wavering already, though. He might want to switch back over to regular shot. And this this English army over here is looking like he's going to try and reform his lines again, but this shock cavalry again, getting rid of this unit of Hobilars. Don't really think there's a lot of cavalry left over here. Not for this army aside of the general now. Some flame arrows now starting to come in. Oh, heavy shock cavalry going to get a huge charge in onto this unit of spears who were not stationary. They were not in any sort of a wall. Just going to charge in, pull right back out again. Where is this unit going to go? These two units of shock cavalry pretty much have their pick. They can do whatever they want. Now they're going to charge in against the general. No, actually, general's unit did lose one man on that charge. Just look at how much of Brabant is left. Untouched. Completely untouched. Has not been involved in combat. No kills. Basically, they haven't even moved. That center line right there for Brabant has just stood there the whole battle. But this side, actually, England over here is actually starting to break through, breaking yet another unit of swords here. Does have one unit. The Brabants do have one unit of gendarmes here left. 25 out of 80 left in that unit. Mounted sergeants way on the other side of the battlefield there for Brabant. But here comes some English cavalry. Let's see. Hobilar's going to try and... Nope. Shattered. These crossbows are just nasty. Nasty units of crossbows. Longbows now, Yeomen of the Guard involved in melee combat when they still have ammunition. That is a bit confusing. And now we have Brabant just moving all of his reinforcements over. His cavalry is still sitting out here. They're just hanging out. They don't really need to do anything. 15 kills. Not really a whole lot for them to do that the rest of that army won't be able to tidy up. 5 minutes, 14 seconds left. We are currently at 3,600 against 2170 there. More units of the Flemish Godendags and unit of the Flemish men-at-arms making their way over, but I don't really see this English army lasting very much longer. Actually, wow, they just got they're getting rid of one of the units of the heavy shock cavalry. The second unit is wavering. Only lost 14 men so far, but this general's bodyguard has now lost 19. There's a unit of spears in here, but oh, here comes the Flemish Count General. He's going to get a huge charge into archers again, who are not facing the right direction. Gee! Huge charge. Wow. Huge, huge charge. Just ran right through them. We do have one of the English generals on this side, wavering now. Down to 28 men left in that unit. Crossbows are actually involved in melee combat, but it's not really that it matters. The rest of his army is making their way over. Is that cavalry moving? Nope. Cavalry's just sitting. He probably doesn't even feel like he needs it. Levy infantry here. Yeah, here comes a flank charge, I guess you could say. Bit of a rear charge. The rest of this Levy infantry should just be able to wrap around into the back of this unit of foot knights. Looks like this unit might be trying to do the same. He's going to come right up over here and just charge into the back.
Enemy units have returned to the battle.
Spears are pulling back. Pikes are still involved in combat. Looks like the spears are going to form their wall. Let's get back over here into the center, or into these armies' battles. Flemish Count's general is getting into some of these retinue longbowmen. Both units of the shock cavalry. No way. No, okay, so one of the units of shock cavalry is still here involved in combat. Is that general dead? The English general is shattered. Is he dead again? His army losses. I don't see anything about the general being dead. Okay, so this English army did not lose. His general didn't die. He routed, but he did not die. So that shouldn't hit their morale that heavy. But again, just getting absolutely surrounded. These cavalry are just going to sit in here, hold all of these infantry units in place as all of these forces, spear and shock infantry, come charging in onto the backs of these foot knights. And once they get involved in melee combat, I wouldn't be surprised to see the cavalry pull out and just start cycle charging. Comes another unit of the Goadags coming in with a charge. No, they slowed down. They're just going to walk into combat there. 2 minutes, 20 seconds left. Basically, it's just to see which English army disappears first. I think it's going to be this one here. Yeah, his bows are pretty much gone. Taking on the Count and a unit of the Flemish Spear Militia here. Infantry has now completely surrounded this unit of foot knights. 156 left in this battle. We're just going to fast forward again here because I don't want to say this was a slaughter, but definitely seemed to be a bit one-sided. A bit one-sided. I'm not trying to be a jerk. That's just my opinion. So hopefully you don't hate me too much for it. Yeah, England over here one of his units, foot knights, starting to waver here. These other two probably going to start getting ready to. Over here, they've got bows left. So yeah, this is far over. 42 seconds left in this battle replay. That's going to be the end of this round for these two teams. So British Isles look like they will have a loss. The Low Countries will have a win in this bracket. So let's get into the army comps here real quick. Start off with the County of Flanders again here with Guido Pali. Again, his shock infantry, 410, 371. His king here with 79. Spears doing fantastic, 104, 156, 102. His Goendags, one of them here with 79. His swords, again, fantastic, 192, 173, 146, 129. Even all of his cavalry doing great, too. 174, 160, 136, and 231 for the two units of men-at-arms there. Fantastic usage there. Geke here with the Duchy of Brabant, his general, 153 kills. His one unit of shock infantry, 139. His spears really not getting a whole lot of kills. Pikes the same. Let's see. His archers doing pretty well. 190 there, 190 and 95 there. His cavalry, 25, 15, 53, 202 and 217 kills. Very well done there by Guido Pali and Geke. Getting into the English side here, second YouTube general. Let's see, his general with 22 kills. He's got a unit of archers here with 66. One of his English foot knights, 93. Retinue longbowmen here with 55. One unit of his Hasidic lancers with 85 kills. Getting into Jake 2.0. His general, 152 kills, so good job there with his general. Yeoman of the Guard, 131. English foot knights, 102, 153, 129. His archers, 76 there. This unit with 291 kills with this unit of Yeoman of the Guard longbow. Wow, very well done. But again, Hoblar's just really not matching up against the heavier cavalry coming in for Flanders and Brabant. So guys, I hope you enjoyed this round of battle between these two factions or teams. Hope you guys enjoyed it, like I said, and I will continue on with the tournament the next time I upload a battle. Have a good day, guys.